to the tricycle. Even as a child I knew that Baba's love was the most important thing in the whole world, more important than everything else. For me, Baba came first. Family, friends, pets, toys were graded second or third according to my mood of the hour. But Baba was always first. Even so, there were times when Baba had to remind me of this fact. There were instances in my childhood when a stray longing for some exciting article beyond my reach would cloud my priority. Then Baba would show me, in his own dear way, that it is only his love that really matters. Coming down to the level of a child, he would make it a game and a lesson in one. A hard lesson, stamped indelibly on the fabric of my life. An intricate game, played only with the few he accepts as his disciples. One memory of such an instance revolves around a tricycle. With all the passion of a child, I coveted a neighbor's tricycle. In its 3 little wheels my baby heart got so entangled that I forgot for a while who came first. This happened when I was not yet 4 years old. I was in Pune, living in Baba house with my parents and my brothers Behram and Adi. Baba was in Bombay at Manjil-e-Meem, which was the first training ground for his disciples. My brother Jal was with him. Mother would always take me to be with Baba wherever he was stationed. Father would stay behind, taking care of home and shop. I was always a good excuse for mother to visit her son, for she also longed to be with him. So, when Baba was in Manjil-e-Meem in Bombay, mother took me there for a visit. Shortly before this, one of the little boys in our neighborhood had gotten a tricycle. I and my little friends had never seen one before, and the thought of riding it was very exciting. We would beg for a little ride, but the dreadful boy kept shouting, "No, no." He wouldn't even let us touch it. Day by day, my dream of having a tricycle kept growing. It grew bigger and bigger until it blotted out everything else. On the way to Manjil-e-Meem with mother, all I could think of was the tricycle. I kept telling myself, I'll ask Baba for a tricycle. He'll give me a tricycle. As a child, whenever I'd get to Baba, I'd run straight to him, fast. Baba would be there with open arms and gather me in. He would pick me up, cuddle me, play with me, and hold me on his lap. Even as a child, I knew how lucky I was. So here I was at Manjil-e-Meem seated on Baba's lap, and I told him, "My birthday is coming soon." "Oh," said Baba, beaming. "Your birthday? Great." Then some more cuddling and he said, "What would you like for your birthday?" "That's just what I was waiting for." "A tricycle," I replied. "Done," said Baba. "A tricycle is what you'll get." I pouted, "But you'll forget." Baba looked very surprised. "Forget?" he said. "When you love someone, how can you forget?" "I promise you I won't forget." Still, that wasn't enough for me. Every little girl has a bit of woman in her, and I was going to make very, very sure that I was going to get that tricycle. There is an Indian equivalent of cross my heart and hope to die. For that, you hold the skin of your neck, throat, between thumb and harass me on my 4th birthday. I have a beaded cap, a silk dress with embroidered border, a gold necklace and bangles, a sateen bow in my hair, and a big question in my heart. Does Baba love me? Forefinger and say, Kasam, which means, I swear. You swear by whatever is precious to you. You swear by your religion, by your mother, by your beard. You swear by that which you hold most dear, at the risk of losing it if you break the promise. So you see, nobody could break such a promise. The usage of Kasam was customary in our family, and Kasam is what I wanted to have from Baba. So I kept playing coy, saying, you'll forget. I kept pushing gently till in the end he said, Kasam, while holding the skin at his throat in a strong pinch. I swear I won't forget. I swear by a hen. At last I was satisfied. Baba's promise was sealed by the act of Kasam, and the hen was witness to it. My next memory is being at home in Pune, and my birthday is coming up very soon. There are only a few days left. I can think of nothing but the tricycle. Every time somebody comes to the door, I get excited. It's the tricycle, I think. It's Jal or someone with the tricycle from Baba. I would run to the door before my mother could get there. But it wasn't the tricycle. It was the milkman, or the bread man, or a friend, or a neighbor. It was never the tricycle. My 4th birthday was celebrated with much rejoicing. But it meant nothing to me. I only remember feeling miserable during the whole thing. But now it was not because of the tricycle. Suddenly the tricycle didn't seem to matter anymore. I was miserable because Baba didn't love me. He said that if you love someone you never forgot. But he did, he forgot. So, he didn't love me. I didn't want the wretched tricycle. All I wanted was Baba to love me, and he didn't, boo-hoo-hoo. The next thing I remember is Mother and I at Meherabad. Baba was there waiting when we arrived. He had sent a horse carriage to bring us over from Ahmednagar railway station. Instead of running to greet him, I just stood there, stiff and cold. It was Baba who came over to me and picked me up. I was still rigid. He Saturday me down on his knee. No response. He tickled me. No laughter. He appeared puzzled, and asked, "What's the matter?" I didn't answer. I knew that he knew what was the matter. But he pretended to be ignorant and said, "Somebody must have done something to you. I wonder who it could be. Was it this one? No. Was it that one? No. I know," Baba said, looking relieved that he had solved the mystery. I know. It was Mother. She scolded you or perhaps even spanked you. I'll have it out with her. No, not Mother, I said, trying not to sob. Then who? Baba asked. I turned round on his lap and stuck an accusing finger on his chest. You. I said. Baba looked surprised. Me. What have I done? Then of course it all came out. The accusations and the tears. You don't love me, I sobbed. You said if you love someone, you don't forget. And you forgot. You don't love me. Baba held me to him while I ranted. You promised me the tricycle, and you never sent it. You even swore that you would remember. You swore by a hen. Baba calmed me. Then he set me down and, with his arm around me, he told me, you know I love you. Always remember that. It is true I promised you that I would not forget, and I did not forget. And I did swear by a hen. But do you know what happened to the hen? No, said his wide-eyed little sister. The hen died, said Baba. Before you could have the tricycle she died. So you see, it isn't my fault, it is the fault of the hen. A child's logic has wings which are unclipped by common reasoning. Baba's explanation made perfect sense to me. When Baba had promised me the tricycle, he had sworn by a hen. When the hen died, the promise died also. How can you keep a promise which does not exist anymore? And how could Baba help it if the hen he had sworn by died before my birthday? Yes, it was all the fault of that horrible hen. Oh, the joy and relief! Baba had not forgotten. Baba loved me. I never got the tricycle. I never again wanted one. All I wanted was Baba's love and I had it. The tricycle episode showed me that being loved by Baba is more important than anything else in the whole world, including tricycles. A lesson game with Baba keeps growing like a young tree and bears blossoms and fruit in time. Years after the tricycle storm had passed away, it dawned on me that Baba had not broken his promise. When Baba had sealed his promise to me with a qasam, all he had said was, I swear, I will not forget. It was I who assumed he was referring to the tricycle. No, Baba did not forget. He loved me enough to make me remember through this lesson game that he comes first.